I think it's really important that we find businesses both in Ireland and Nepal whose voices we really want to highlight. That we're not just promoting, anything and anyone. That we're really looking for businesses who really take pride in their work and who have the sort of values that are really worth sharing. Um, so this is kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to highlight these voices, trying to promote your work, and we're looking for people in Ireland who might want to get involved. And there's a number of different ways that they might get involved. Um, it could be that someone might know, reach out to your networks. Someone might know someone who is involved in retail in Ireland, in retail of crafts. It could be wholesale. There could also be people who are involved in the craft and design sector in Ireland who might be interested in collaborating or partnering. Or it could be that someone knows someone who's going to Nepal and wants to tell them, oh, go and check out this business. They do some really great things. You'll be able to buy some really beautiful products to bring home. And here they are. So there's lots of different, and there's lots of other ways as well that I think all four of our speakers will be able to share with you. Kind of individual things that they might be looking for, areas of collaboration or partnership. But yeah, so that's what we're trying to do, is find people who might be interested in collaborating with you guys. So one kind of idea, there's a lot of different ideas, and we welcome anyone who might have any experience with this or who has a good idea to share, to please do. There's one place which is the RDS Craft Show. This is a show that happens every year in Ireland, and each business can rent a stall, like you can see there. And I know some people in the retail sector in Ireland, and this is where they go once a year to basically place the orders for all of their stock for the year to come. So they go and they can browse the different brands. It's all kind of craft and design based. It's open to the public, but it's definitely where a lot of the retailers go for their products. And it gives you an opportunity to speak with those who are in the market, and for the retailers and wholesalers to connect with the producers and the makers. So I think this could be a really good opportunity if there is someone out there who would like to get involved, where maybe a few different Nepali businesses could group together and rent a stall together, and to kind of, I guess, test the waters a little bit, see, what kind of products the Irish market is interested in. And yeah, so I think there's kind of two areas there that we can work together. There's working together between the Nepali businesses and Ireland, but also the Nepali businesses themselves, that they could kind of group their work together to send to Ireland, which I think would be beneficial for everyone, really. So yeah, so that's just one idea, but I mean, there's lots of other ways that we could do this. And I won't say too much about each of the speakers because obviously they want to speak about their businesses themselves. But I'm really, really excited to have all three of them here. They're different sizes, they sell different things, different kind of amount of experience, but all of them have the same thing in common, and that's that they share the same values, and they really make their business about something more than just business. And all of them are really passionate about what they do, and they have some really brilliant ideas. So I won't speak too much because I think what they have to say is going to be really great. But so we'll have from Mahaguthi Crafts of Conscience, we'll have Dr. Sunil talking to us. He's the CEO. And we will have Samir, who is the domestic sales and marketing executive, and he will be showing us around their shop in Kathmandu and showing us some of their really beautiful products. So Mahaguthi Crafts have been in business for, I think, 35 years. And so I think they're the prime example of sustainability, but not just the buzzword sustainability. It's sustainability in reality because they've been in this for so long. And I think we will really benefit from their experience. They have experience exporting to the European market, and I think we could really learn a lot from them. We also have Nasreen from the local women's handicraft. And again, local women's handicraft, they provide a really beautiful, safe space for women to work in a safe environment. And Nasreen is a really passionate woman who, when we spoke the other day, I think we probably could have talked for ages and ages about the different challenges and the opportunities in the Nepali textiles sector. So she'll be able to share about some of the work she does. And then we also have Hannah from Crafts with Maya Universe. So I have a bit of like a personal attachment to Maya Universe Academy. I never actually met Hannah, but when I was at Maya Universe, I had heard a lot about her, and she's kept her work going ever since. So Maya Universe Academy are a school, but they have Crafts by Maya as a business which helps to fund the school providing rural education in rural Nepal. And yeah, so they also have some really beautiful bracelets and baskets, and they hire some local women to make them. So yeah, Hannah will be able to share a bit more about what they do there. So I don't want to go on for too long because I really want to give the time over to our brilliant speakers. I think Deepesh will say a few words first. And if anyone who's here today or on Facebook Live wants to ask any questions or give any feedback, please do. And there'll be all the details to contact each of the businesses directly as well. So yeah, everyone put their thinking caps on and see what kind of things we can come up with as opportunities for our three businesses. So Deepesh, I'll hand it over to you now.
Thanks. Give me one second. Just okay. Are you sharing? You can stop sharing now.
There we go.
Cool. Give me 1 second. Sorry, yeah. Spotlight here. Right, that's great. Yeah, thanks, Sarah. Just to give a quick introduction of myself. I am Deepesh. I'm based in Dublin, and I've been here for last nearly 20 years now. And I'm the CEO and the Vice President of Ireland-Nepal Chamber of Commerce, and I'm also the President of Nepal-Ireland Society. So what we have been doing is through Nepal-Ireland Society, which was basically established in 2002. So we worked on building relations between Nepal and Ireland at all different levels, like people level. That's where we started, and then we went on to build relations with at a company level, different organizations. We have a network of different companies with Nepal and Society. And then recently, starting 2017, we were able to establish relations at government level, where we have Ireland-Nepal Parliamentary Friendship Group. The Speaker of Irish Parliament is the chairman, and we have 5 member of parliaments. We call it TDs here, deputy here in Ireland. And they are the members. They are all helping us to build the relations between Nepal and Ireland. Now, this Ireland-Nepal Chamber of Commerce, the concept started after the visit of the Irish speaker to Nepal back in 2018. And when he came back and we had a meeting, he suggested to establish Ireland-Nepal Chamber of Commerce because any relations between countries, so to speak, the business relation, the trade and investment relations is the key. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to focus on the trade and investment side of it, how we can explore and the trade and investment opportunities between Nepal and Ireland. There are already something going on, but we are not sure. We haven't identified it. We are not sure of who is doing business in Nepal from Ireland or the vice versa. So that's what we have been focusing on. And after the establishment of Ireland-Nepal Chamber of Commerce, so we were kind of exploring the different avenues on how we can build the relations in the investment, trade, business, all those different financial sector in summary. And then Sarah came up with this idea of promoting the handicrafts, the Nepalese handicrafts in Ireland, what we can do. So we have been discussing about this for quite a while, and the suggestion was we bring in a few handicraft entrepreneurs from Nepal, and then have them talk about their business, and they essentially see what the interest level is at in the Irish market, and hopefully in the rest of the Europe as well. Now, with the pandemic that struck, I think that presented us with an opportunity. Bringing the people, the entrepreneurs from Nepal to Ireland would be logistically difficult. Now with the pandemic, everything is at home, everything is virtual, so it gave us an opportunity to come all of us together, talk about their business. And I think so Sunilji will be doing some demo of his products on directly the live show from his shop. We have seen a little bit earlier. It's really wonderful. So he'll be doing the demo of what he has, and hopefully Hannah and Nasreen, so both of them will be doing showing some of the stuff they have. So that's the kind of thing that we wanted to develop. So we, Ireland-Nepal Chamber of Commerce, is a platform. We are not a business entity. What we do is we bring in people from the business community from Nepal, from Ireland, and then connect them together. We create a networking platform. That's what pretty much we do, and that's what we are trying to do. Now, having said that, I would like to thank first Sarah for doing all the work. Because she contacted Hannah, Nasreen, Sunil, all in Nepal. So it's things like it's email, you don't need to go and meet, but it takes a lot of time to put all these things together, coordinate together, and I appreciate all the effort that Sarah has put together. And also I would like to thank Mr. Sunil Chitrikar, Mr. Nasrin Sheikh, and Ms. Hannah for joining today, for their time today, and really appreciate it. And this is our first episode, and this is like an example episode we have, and we hope to have this similar type of talk program in future as well, like extending this to some other entrepreneurs in the handicraft sector. And handicraft is really big, right? It's not like one little business entity. It's you have woodcraft, you have all the metal crafts, you have pashminas, and all those different varieties of things that we have. We'll try to promote them all in future. And apart from that, we'll be looking at some other business opportunities as well, the investment opportunities, hydropower is there, tourism sectors, all those different things. We'll be running similar sort of events, this type of event today in future as well. So thank you for coming to this first episode. Thanks to all who have joined today. And I can see some of our colleagues from Ireland-Nepal Chamber of Commerce who are here today. I would like to thank everybody for joining in, and I would like to thank those who are watching us live on Facebook. So by the way, this is being broadcasted live on Ireland-Nepal Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, and we have shared it on Nepal Lions Society Facebook page as well. So in total, the followers we have is around 4,000, and with the sharing and everything, so hopefully we'll reach more and more in future after this event. Okay, thank you again. So with that, I would like to transfer back to Sarah.
Thanks, Deepesh. Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to let the speakers speak for themselves. I think we will start with you, Sunil, with Mahaguthi Crafts of Conscience. And as Deepesh was saying, we have Samir in their shop, one of their shops in Kathmandu, and they'll be able to show us around and show us all the beautiful things they have. So go ahead, Sunil. You're on mute, Sunil.
Can you allow me to?
Yeah. So
presentation.
Okay, hang on a second. So let me just make you co-host. Okay. So you're good to go now. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Thank you, Shara, for this opportunity, and thank you for reaching out to us for this meeting. And Deepesh, thank you very much taking this initiative to introduce Nepalese businesses for Irish market. I'm sure that this will be a really breakthrough in introducing Nepalese entrepreneurs into Irish market, and vice versa. Also, the Irish business people may find a business opportunities here in Nepal. Uh, so I'll take a few time introducing what we do at Mahaguti Crafts Conscience, and then my colleague Samir at the other end will show you about brief about our products. As many of you, some of you know that Mahaguti Crafts Conscience is a social enterprise, fair trade social enterprise, guaranteed fair trade, established in 1984 as a small income generating activities to support a foundation started in 1927. So at the time, Nepalese women did not have much opportunities for their livelihood and very much limited market access for artisans and producers. And in that context, Mahaguti was created as an income generated activities in 1984 with just three people. And then we extended our networks with small artisans and producers in various parts of Nepal. We used to travel in villages and provide training, skill training, and get their products to our shops. And then later on, we start exporting. So and then we learn about the businesses. We graduate from just income generating activities to a full business model, and we inherited fair trade as a business model. And we believe that fair trade is not a charity rather than a sustainable business model where we share resources with the needy ones with its sustainable approaches. So at this moment, we have a vision of economic and social progress for equity, justice, and peace. And we have a mission to establish Mahakuti as a brand for sustainable fair trade enterprises that promotes economic and social well-being of producers, artisans, and disadvantaged communities. And we practice and promote values of equity and justice, build capacity for quality, innovation, competitiveness, and customer focus. So while saying this, what we have been doing so far for over 3 decades is we have created over hundreds of enterprise in various parts of Nepal. And we also have trained hundreds of people in different skill sets. For example, now many of you know the natal, the allu, widely available here in Nepal. But in 80s, we are one of the promoter of allu natal fiber at the time. We establishing allu club in Sankosava. Similarly, we renovated the Dhaka weaving in Tirthum, establishing the production and whole supply chain in Dhaka. So we are so proud that nowadays many businesses are grown up from where we have started. Um, our business model is we recruit producers who need support and explore produce base on base of market needs. What that means is we have our own production units, as well as we work with a small artisan in various parts of Nepal. Many producers reach out to us for market access, and also we explore ourselves in various parts of Nepal in search of new skills and new opportunities, or we look for the groups which need support. And we provide all business development services to artisans, from product designing, financing, skill development, and market access. Um, and we have our own production unit that produces textile, basically textile, handmade paper, felt. We do printing, dyeing, and a lot of things. And 60% of our turnover comes from our own production. And also, our 80% of our revenue comes from export, whereas we have two retail outlets here in Kathmandu Valley. One is in Ireland-Nepal, and one is in Kupundol. And the profit that we generate, we reinvest in projects as well as business. And when we say projects, we go to the villages and artisans in developing crafts, as well as supporting them. For example, if you look at the ceramic today, we have contributed substantially in bringing Nepalese pottery into the ceramics in a ceramics that can be sold in international market, because ceramic is not our traditional skill. We have invested so much in technology and resources in developing the Nepalese ceramics that reaches the international market. And as I said earlier, we are not uh, based on the charity or any grant, rather than we are 100% financially sustainable. And we are the one of the founder member of Fair Trade Group Nepal. We are one of the pioneer who promoted fair trade in Nepal, and we are now the guaranteed fair trade member of World Fair Trade Organization. Now I'm serving as on a board of World Fair Trade Organization in Netherlands, as well as I'm on the board of World Fair Trade Organization in Asia, and also vice chair and Fair Trade Group Nepal. Also, we heavily engage in promoting this fair trade in Nepal and region. At the same time, as some of you know, there's the fashion revolution. We also engage on those kind of movements, including social solidarity, economic movements as well. Currently, we have 85 people in house. Due to pandemic and due to some regions, some people left within a year. So we used to have more than 100 people. We have textile, garment, handmade paper, felt, printing, dyeing, fabric finishing, everything in-house. And we adopt environmental friendly technologies. You can see in that picture the water treatment plants. We have solar system. Even when we did dyeing, we used to have this fume filter. Before the fume goes out, we filter, and yeah, we take all the measures for environment protection as well. So we work with 65 different groups in 15 districts of Nepal, from east to west. And over 1,100 people are directly benefiting from our work in those 65 enterprises, and 85% of them are women. We have two shops. Later on, somebody will show you. And we are exporting to 18 countries, and from in Asia, Asia Pacific, like Japan, Hong Kong, Korea, New Zealand, Australia, and then across Europe, from Sweden to Spain, we have been exporting, and also USA, Canada. These are the brief product assortment. The garment and textile is one of our strong product line. Fashion accessories, pashmina, you can see I'm wearing one. Home decor, handmade paper, ceramics, metal, basketries, gift, and herbal under this wellness category. You can see some of our beautiful products. These garments are exported in USA under the private label, also in Japan and elsewhere, in Korea. So currently, we are in different networks, in founding member of Fair Trade Group Nepal, guaranteed member in World Fair Trade Organization Asia, as well as I'm a vice chair of Federation of Handicraft Association of Nepal, also member in different associations. Samirji, would you please share your video of our shop? Sarah, can you give access to Samir?
Yeah, so we'll do that. 1 second. Samir, okay. So 1 second, sorry. Is Samirji online? Okay. Good.
Yes, he's there.
If you could stop sharing.
Okay.
All right.
So you can see this cotton garments. Basically, we work on cotton, 100% cotton, 100% value added in Nepal. We start from weaving. We start from designing textile and weaving and you can see also the shawl, bag, accessories. Um, you can see the cushions. We do not have anything that is imported, everything made in Nepal. Everything started from scratch. And for export, we do not do the stockpiling. We start from the scratch. Once we only uh, share, send the samples, then we start from the very beginning, from raw materials to the finished product. Pashmina and other scarf, knitted items. Yeah. The singing bowl used to be our #1 export products in the past, but it has changed. Now textile garments and pashmina ceramics are taking a significant portion of our turnover. And our shops are recognized by Lonely Planet as one of the best shopping place for the tourist. And in our shops, all the products come from different part of Nepal. Uh, and mostly we have focus on different ethnicity. Like for example, ceramics are done by the potters of Thimi. Some of ceramics also used to come from Janakpur and Dang as well, but now it is mostly from Thimi. All these ceramics are designed by ourselves. Even all the glazes we have developed ourselves. Now, these are all stonewares. So, thank you, Samiji. Sure, I have one slide left. So let me finish that one. Mhm. So those are some of the brief glimpse of our shop. Uh, we have 3 stories in that Kupandal store as well as in Lajimpad with different segment of craft assortment. Sorry. Mhm. And what we are looking at this moment is we are looking for importer, wholesaler, and private label owners that we can produce garments and other in private for the private label. And we also looking for retail chain stores. We do not encourage ourselves to tempted ourselves to sell online to direct customers because we want to be the exporter, not to work directly with the end customer. So we focus more on this mostly with importers, wholesalers. And we are also looking for designers because many of the product that we export, we are not able to sew because it is very much design oriented, and we work for others. So we cannot sew that to in our catalog or in our website. That's why we are always looking for designers. And also we are looking for business expansion, and we are looking for partners for market expansion. With this, thank you very much. And if there are any questions, please feel free. And here is our websites as well. Thank you, Shara.
Thank you so much, Sunil. That was really nice to hear all the different things that you do. You have such a variety of products. Really nice to see the shop as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just one, all these women, they are the one who cannot speak, and the products they displayed is a letter saying "Dhanyabad," thank you. That those are the products they made. We have trained these women, and they made those products, and they are one of our best-selling products for many years.
Wow. really brilliant. That's
Yeah,
really
mute.
nice. It's a really nice photo. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sunil. Yeah, I think Mahaguthi really shows such a good example of a business that can, you know, last over an extended period of time and really do so much more than just make profits for itself. It really benefits all the communities that are involved along the different kind of stages of production. So yeah, I think there's definitely a market in Ireland for those kind of products, and I think we're just now looking for the right partners. So if anybody out there can think of anyone that you might know, please, please do get in touch. Okay, so we'll move on now to.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on now to Nazreen with Local Women's Handicraft. Nazreen, do you need to share your screen?
Yes, please.
Yeah, perfect. Dipesh, if you can make her co-host.
Yep. It's done.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Not sure who's speaking. Yeah, if you have a question that you want to ask now.
Namaskar, everyone. I am from Viratnagar, and I am chemistry student. I am chemistry student. I'm also very familiar with the eco-friendly products. And when I observed it in Facebook, then I surely filled a form and I got opportunity to interact with you. Actually, I am very, very junior as compared to you all, and I am only the student recently. And right now, I have my sister as well. And she's too interested in the product. Recently, Chitrakar sir has shown us about the self-made products of Nepal, especially eco-friendly products and the weaving products one. Then is there a possibility that student can also get training about such products? Yeah, and because in our area there are most of the students who are economically backward, and I think that student can spend the time for 2 hours in morning or evening for the art, and more hour they can get a chance to study and self-employment. Will it be possible, sir, if student can get opportunity?
Thank you for joining. Yeah, I think, is that question for Sunil probably?
Can I answer right now or later on?
Yeah, sure. If you want to answer, or you know, if you want to contact each other directly as well, you can do that.
Yeah, you can contact me through our email. I'm also in the Vice Chair of FEDREGO Nepal, where we run different entrepreneurship boot camps recently, also focus on skill development. So please do contact me. I can give you more information on that regard.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I will contact.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks. All right, Nazreen, off you go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. What a great presentation, Sunil. I feel like, oh my God, I have so much to learn from you. So Local Women's Handicraft is a social business. We are pretty small. We have been established since 2008. But you know, we saw that especially in Kathmandu, a lot of injustices happening around fashion industry and around like whole ethical fashion, and how women were part of the businesses but their voice was not being heard the way that it's supposed to be. So I think the best way that for me is always is to how can I make our women voice heard. So this is the introduction of Local Women's Handicrafts with one of our women, and I would like to share that video with you to just to start this conversation. So here it is.
Local Women's Handicraft is a fair trade sewing collective in Kathmandu. It is a social enterprise to lift women who have been marginalized and exploited, to give them opportunity, skills, and a sense of dignity, and to spread our model of empowerment across the world. Each of our centers is both a sustainable production facility and safe space of learning, growth, and community. The women who come to our centers are offered opportunities, training, and services that empower them to progress in their lives with self-value that many of them had never known was possible. When they arrive, the women have the opportunity to participate in training lasting up to 4 years. They learn professional skills in fiber crafts, entrepreneurship, and sustainability. During this time, they receive a stipend and engaged mentorship from our staff and other women who have been through the program before them. After the training, they can choose to work at the center with a living wage or open their own small businesses. Beyond economical empowerment, our holistic model supports the whole woman so they can learn to feel safe and heal from trauma. Our staff provides health and wellness services to women and the children, women's hygiene classes, and basic education. Our centers also have gardens that provide food for women and their families. So through a dedicated and passionate team, we aim to empower 10,000 women in the world's poorest region by 2020 and create a textile industry that honors sustainability, human rights, and dignity.
Thank you so much. So that was a little intro of our self, who we are, and what we believe in. Um, we deeply believe in, like women, especially in Nepal. There's not even real data like what percent of women own the businesses in Nepal, and it's very very little amount, a little percentage of women. We face a lot of our generational trauma and generational inequalities, with education, with safety, with our voice, and of course it's affect economically to us. So a lot of us, we're just really like, how can we like learn the skills and become like these, grassroots embodiment movement for women that actually owns some of the economy and money. So and I have, it's connected to my own experience. When I was very young, I was working in very very small room, in a terrible conditions for making lots of clothes for very very little money. and um, and I saw how disconnected the textile industry and the fashion industry was. um, and in that time I had no voice, I was very scared, and I didn't know what to do. And then when I was around 12, I met very, very kind person, and he gave me the education. And with his help, I was able to understand that in order to change our um, like our suffering or our pain or our disempowerment, we really need to step into our creativity and make something and sell something. And that's when I started Local Women's Handicrafts, just in a hope to be seen and to be heard that we can do also something. And like that, we started with one woman, and it turned out into a ripple effect of 6 women, and then 10 women, 20 women. And right now over 365 women are involved, and we are the staff of almost 65 women in the ground, working every single day. We have the centers, which we call empowerment center, facilities to make these crafts and stuff, in Kathmandu, and then also in Tarai region called Saptari. In Saptari, we just started since 2018. First, we went there when we heard from one of our women that how like bad the condition was of women over there, and how flooding and everything was happening, and people are very, very desperate of needs. But there was like people in Saptari work so hard, like so hard, and that like if they can have the right leadership, it will change their destiny. And so for that reason, we set up the second empowerment center there, and we're selling these crafts. Our values are to making sure that when the women come to our center, they feel safe, and they feel the communities. And the communities, it's not necessarily the community that we see in Nepal, it's the community of the women who have come to our center and have learned the skills and have healed themselves, and they know that they can make money and they can have a voice. So those women become eventually the part of our communities, and they inspire other women to come and get together. And income is a big part of our whole thing, and the best way to not dependent on charity or in donation is to really incorporate the local resources that we have available in these local areas, and how we can take these materials. And like hemp is so widely grown in Nepal, and like there's lots of materials, and beautiful cottons are out there, and how can we take that and turn into a beautiful products. So I think that knowing the resources that we have and the skills that we have, and how can we turn that into a hope for these women. We are also like so much focused on the education. So when the women are in our center, these women are receiving a lot of literacy and mentoring programs. We are bringing people from overseas and doing a lot of culture exchange to just inspire these women to that, you can have that voice too. We focus a lot on the also making a lot of the products that could be used locally. And one of those projects is sanitary pad. So in Nepal, we have a huge taboo around menstruation, and every single year there is a couple of news that would come that a girl died suffocated in a small hut and all, and it's very painful situation around menstruation. So we developed a reusable sanitary pad, and we go to these young girls' schools, and we educate them, and we give these sanitary pads to these schools too. We are very, very much focusing on like how, like when we are making things, how it can be eco-friendly and naturals and sustainable. And therefore, we have developed a lot of our recycled products. I'm right in my website, so you guys can visit and see all like, how do we do this. So, sorry. I just wanted to pull up the recycled product, and I'm having a really little hard time. We do, we're focusing on two things, which is wholesale and retail. So through this website, people can buy things from all around the world, like anywhere from the world, people can visit this website, localwomenshandicrafts.com, and purchase directly. And, and we also do the wholesale. So this is the product, these are the products that I really want to sell, and these are our like really good sales products, and it's made out of recycled materials and recycled sari. So we take these materials that is basically is coming from all around the Nepal. Sometimes it also comes from India, all these leftover saris, old saris, and then we rewash them and reweave them and turn them into these yoga mats and cushion covers and like so many like rugs and like this is a yoga mat that is really well selling. And then we have cushion cover like these that we sell a lot. And of course, this has all the information, how these are sourced materials and how our women are weaving. We are using a loom, which does not need any electricity. So it's very like we're trying to really get ready of like back in 2008 or 9, Nepal was like having a really hard time having electricity problems, and like we would get cut off for like 8, 9, 10 hours, and in the nighttime we would have electricity, in daytime we don't have electricity. It was really hard to work. So that's the time that it really brought us into a focus of understanding like how can we really focus on the sustainability, that we are not dependent on the other hand and other people's hand and the bigger thing. So since then we decided to build a center, and then in that center we have a biogas. So we take all these leftovers and all the recycled materials, and we turn them into a fuel, and that fuel is providing a cooking gas for our women. And then we also like really focusing on the solar energy. And then of course we have the access to electricity now, which is helping us to grow more further. And as you saw, like our goal in the video, that our goal was to help and empower and 10,000 women by 2020. And we got completely hit by COVID, and we didn't meet and reach the goal. So hopefully we are going to extend that for 2025 and increase that number. We have been published in Forbes, and I have been myself very much connected with Fair Trade Certified organization, Fair Trade Federation, and I'm constantly speaking around fashion revolutions and how fast fashion is killing our planet. Like how many people that even know that one t-shirt takes 200 gallons of water that one person can drink for 3 years. So for us, more than we, of course, to bring the income, we focus on selling the products, but really our values is like stays with women's empowerment and injustices that is happening in the fashion industry with the women, because our world is almost filled with this stuff, like so much filled with this stuff, but we have no idea where our things come from and who makes it and in what condition they makes it, you know. And if we don't figure that out, I don't think we will be able to make a real impact that we want to make. So it's like a perpetuation of like you give something and then you create 10 more mistakes. So it's very, very important to provide a living wage and safe environment for these people and for the consumer to know where their products come from. We have in our website where people can meet all the women. This is obviously me here, and then all of these women that have come to our centers, and you know, we are adding more and more women's stories here, so people can really understand what Nepal is and what's the condition of the women. So this is all of our women, goes forever, and then. As I said before, like we're published in all these Cosmopolitan, Forbes, Huffington Post, all over. And then we are, so really the, you know, like in the end of the day, we would like to see a fast fashion being end and women feeling free from the sweatshop and really protecting the nature. Because when you produce, you know, ethicals and sustainable materials and natural materials, little but good quality, then that is how we are going to preserve the nature. This is our beautiful, like safe working environment for our women that is like, you know, we like all these like since almost 10-12 years we have been just like, we could have scaled it out and made it like really big, but we have been really focusing on like, okay, if we are helping just 35 women, let's focus on just that and how can we make their life better, and then showcase their products into the website slowly, because now we have the online website, so we are trying to bring another entrepreneurs or people together to partner with us and put their products in here too, because this website is global, and we really want to give opportunities to the women, specifically to the women who are owning and running businesses, small businesses in Nepal, and they don't have the visibilities. So we can create their profile in this website and use it. And I just feel like it will be really hard. Like there's so much problem out in the world, but I see the hope in technology. And if the people in Nepal can really understand the power of technology and take this to and communicate to the world in a way to share our experiences, what are the challenges we are facing in the ground, because you know, we are not developed country yet. Like we are struggling with even our street, like we're having a lot of pollution issues, our rivers are dying. So we, in order to protect that, we need to tell the stories of what is happening really, and then people supporting that. So yeah, this is where we are. And we focus a lot, so much on the behind the scene, and we give our customers. So when somebody comes and says like, hey, Local Women's Handicrafts, we want to work with you, not necessarily we just start working with them. Like we invite them to our center. We want them to come and connect with our women, see our facilities and see the materials what we are working on. So these are the like hemp straw that we bring to our center. We work with the villages in the mountain areas, and then we bring the raw materials into our center, and from there we treat them, and then we make them into a thread, and then we weave them, and then we make them into these beautiful backpacks and stuff, which is 100% you know, it's like these ones are like 100% eco-friendly. So the normal backpack that we use in our daily life, it will take, and most of them are made out of synthetic plastics. It will take almost 800 years to decompose. Whereas like these backpacks, like you throw them in the field for like, 8 months and it will decompose and turn into a soil. So, and then we use a lot of natural dyes. So this backpack is dyed by the natural colors. We have a cooperative, and then they help us do that. In our center, we are trying to bring everything in together, so we can like from designing to finish the product, we all can do in one place. But still we are working on that. And these are the backpacks that is made all in our center. We sell even these hemp yarns that people can, not only buy our backpacks, but they can make their own products if they want to. And same with the fabrics that we have. These are really beautiful laptop case that people can use. And again, like natural dyes, hand woven, made by our women. It tells the story also with our women, like who made it, and their photos being displayed in these products. These are the recycled ones. So.
Nazreen, they're really beautiful. I love the upcycled sari products. They're really gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm just conscious of time, but I would love to for you to just mention who the kind of people you're looking for through the Nepal Ireland Chamber of Commerce. I know you were saying about possible help with marketing.
Yes, I would, because we have built this website and, we have put so much energy in it. And if people can really help us expose this website all around the world, would be really, really helpful. And then at the same time, if somebody is interested in working with local women's handicrafts, they can go to our website and fill up the wholesale section, and we can get in touch with them. That is how we will be able to get in touch with them. And then if somebody wants to volunteer and to be a part of it, they can also become a part of it. And then we also have launched a 1 million mask initiative. So far we have reached our goal for we have sold 5,000 masks, but we would really love for people to help and support this initiative, 1 million mask initiative. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Nazreen. I think as with Mahaguti Crafts, I think having your products in Ireland, I think there's a really big opportunity to have your products and then maybe some sort of description of the work you do, the projects that you're involved in, that you're so obviously so passionate about. And I think that way when people are buying the products, they're buying the product on one hand, but they're also investing in something that they see as kind of benefiting the communities of those that have made the product that they're buying. So I think as both presentations have kind of shown, you've kind of interacted with the kind of Who Made My Clothes movement and the fair trade movement. And I think there's an interest in that in Ireland, and it's just about connecting those two things up. So thank you so much. And now just conscious of time, but we will move on to Hannah, who can tell us about crafts by Maya and some of the really beautiful, especially their bracelets. I really love their bracelets. So go ahead, Hannah.
Thank you. Can I have share screen?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me make a quote there.
In the meantime, I just love to thank Sarah for this opportunity and the Ireland-Nepal Chamber of Commerce for putting us together, and a great pleasure to meet so many inspiring people like Nazreen and Dr. Sunil and sharing this space with you all. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm just going to share quickly, 1 second, wait, we need to sort out this tech stuff first. Just whilst I get this going, just to introduce myself, I'm Hannah. I'm representing Maya Universe Academy today. I live in Nepal, and I've been here for the last 5 years full-time, been coming and going in 2013. When I fell in love with Maya Universe Academy, that's when I decided to keep coming back and actually make Nepal my home. But I'll just share screen quickly because it's just to make sure that, can I have a thumbs up if you're seeing the full screen? And yeah. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so Crafts by Maya Universe is a micro social enterprise, and I must say I am the baby, or we are the baby here amongst amazing organizations like local Women's Handicrafts and Mahagati. We started as a really tiny group of women to help actually the mothers of the students at Maya Universe Academy, and we wanted to basically give them the employment opportunities and income generation opportunities that is lacking a lot in rural areas of Nepal. And just to give you a background on Maya Universe Academy, we are a social enterprise focusing on quality education, where we give access to quality education in rural areas where normally, or despite there being access to education, public education, it is not up to scratch. And so Maya Universe Academy was founded in 2010 by Nepali youngster at that time, Manjil Rana, and he decided to visit his ancestral village in Tanahu district, which is Midwest, I guess, Nepal. And what he found was that the public education was not up to scratch, and he wanted to offer his service. He wanted to offer his time in the public schools, but they didn't really give him that opportunity. So, being very persistent and hard-headed as he is, he decided to open a school from a tent in the middle of a jungle, which was basically a land given to him by one of his family members. And from then, after speaking and after discussing the needs of the community and their children's needs and their future, before he knew it, he had like over 200 families lined up outside his tent in the jungle to receive education. And that's how Maya Universe Academy started, by the cooperation and determination and the commitment of the parents within that village to educate their children and to invest in their children's future. So the school started really like, it's a private school, it's a social enterprise as a private school, but it's very community driven, it's very community based, and it was the parents themselves that actually helped build the structure of the school. And as the school started, Manjil Rana, the founder, realized like, okay, we have all of this community support, how are we going to actually sustain the school? Like, he had no funds at that time. So what he came up with was a model whereby the parents of these students who don't have the money to invest in their education, they have the skills and the resources and the know-how to do a lot of things. So instead of charging them money, he asked for their time. And this is how it really started being a community-driven school. So the model is actually based on the parents of the students volunteering twice per month, and they would engage in agriculture, construction, and any maintenance activities that go on. Just to give you a background of where we're at, over the years, we've had schools in various parts of Nepal, and because of the structure on school licensing. We were not able to educate kids over a certain grade. Therefore, if they wanted to, and if the families accepted, they could come to the main school where we had the license to continue operating in the next years, right? So the what we call the main school in Tanahud district has until grade 7, and that invited kids from other schools of my University Academy from different districts to actually get boarded and educated within that school. So that suddenly opened up a hostel. Before we knew it, we have a hostel, and now we have over 100 kids living in this hostel. In the meantime, we wanted to not only empower the children through education, but also their families, right? And we find that a lot of the kids that we educate, a lot of them don't have their father present physically because they have immigrated to different countries for work. And this leaves oftentimes mothers trying to fend for themselves, trying to raise their family. Sometimes they receive the income, sometimes they don't, sometimes their husbands never come back. And this is really, really often. This is very common. And I think my Nepali colleagues here will agree that this is not always the best decision when the fathers leave the country for work. So Crafts by My Universe actually started because of this, because we found a lot of our students' mothers struggling to make ends meet, to put food on the table, even the basic rice and dal. So Crafts by My Universe really began to give them an opportunity of employment. And by doing so, we started training them thanks to one of our Korean partners who had this really beautiful design to create these bracelets. And apart from that, the profits go back to the school so that we can help sustain either the hostel or the employment of local qualified teachers. So over here, you can see in this picture, one of the ladies making a bracelet. The bracelets that we make, which I'll show you on my screen, I don't think you can see me right now. Maybe you see me very small. I'll show it as soon as I stop sharing. They're handmade from semi-precious stones, which we source locally. We try to focus mostly on locally sourced stones that are present in Nepal, but a lot of the time they're coming from the region. We are currently, thanks to the lockdown and pandemics, we started to exploring other products. So we're currently in product development, mostly focusing on new designs and using more locally available materials, because I know we are all aware that there may be limitations with semi-precious stones and a lot of the lack of supply chain transparency in that. So when we look on an ethical point of view, so we want to try and source more locally, even if they are precious stones. We will continue to improve our supply on that and ensure that everything is done in an ethical manner. But we're also experimenting with local materials. Hemp was being mentioned, and especially baskets making, that I have one also I can show you in a sec. But just to be conscious of time, we're available on Facebook and Instagram, so you can follow us there. And I'm just going to stop sharing so that you can see the products that I'm bringing up. So these are examples of the bracelets. Let's see if you can see that. So the stones are hand carved one by one, very patiently and meticulously. And the middle, I'm getting a bit confused. I'm not sure if you can see that. In the center, we have a little M, And this is also handcrafted metal. We collaborate with local silversmiths and metalsmiths from Patan in the Kathmandu Valley. And we have various designs with various number of stones. Some have 8 stones, some have 6, some have 3. So these are our star products, basically. And we're also experimenting with basketry. The one I'm holding right now is corn husk, and this is made actually in Udaipur. Corn husk and the green that you see here, this is another type of grass. It's called doti pataye, but I have not found the English word for that. I'm not sure if my colleagues here know what that's called in English. That would be really helpful. But they're all handmade by women in a village in Udaipur, where we previously had a school, where we're currently no longer working due to the school licensing agreement restrictions that are in place right now. But we have maintained very good relationship with the villagers over there, and we still educate some of the students. So the stones, I'm getting a question, where are your stones coming from? Which part of the Nepal? Okay, so this is the part where I feel that I'm being very transparent about that this is not something I can always tell. I know that we source them locally from the local market, but they will be coming from various regions of Nepal and from the region. So probably India, Pakistan, and the whole region. So this is something that, again, this is why we're currently in product development, exploring more of our local resources. These have been our star products for the past 5 years. But yes, as we move more into ensuring full ethical supply chain and transparency, this is a very difficult road to trace, unfortunately. But as beautiful as they are, we do try to source more local stones in Nepal. Yes, Hamid?
Like literally, I left Nepal like 15 years ago. Like I used to be from Basantapur, from Kathmandu Darbar Square, and when there used to be all the stones from Mandala and all those sort of the stones, because I have really a big kind of a thing with the stone, because they used to import from Rajasthan, and where in Rajasthan, when I visit myself, I've seen a lot of children are working on this stone quarry. So that's the reason that I asked the question, because I haven't seen because there is amethyst, there are a different kind of stone. That's the reason, Is there any kind of a trace you are doing for that? Because sometimes we call it as ethical, and then when we trace back, it is maybe not. Don't get me wrong, though, you are doing a very good thing.
Entirely. Hami, I really appreciate that, and that's why I've been very transparent about that. As we move more, we're all learning and growing. And as I said, we're a small micro enterprise, and these were our star products. But as we grow and we learn, yes, we would like a more transparent supply chain. And having said that, the whole industry at large with stones has not been very transparent about the ethics. So although these products are beautiful, and we know on a different level, maybe some of you are interested in this or not, the energetic level of stones is quite there and relevant. We do need to ensure that our whole supply chain from A to Z is transparent and ethical and above board. So yes, this is why Crafts by My Universe is exploring new techniques, trying to explore the use of more local stones from Nepal, where it may be easier to trace back the source rather than sourcing directly from the market. So if any of you have experience with that, that would be amazing to help us out. As a social enterprise, our focus has always been to provide skill development, employment opportunities, and independent income for the women, as well as providing Maya Universe Academy the financial benefits to continue the education of the children and employment in education. so this is still on the handicraft side, and on the ethical side of that, we're still getting there. As I said, we're the babies. We're the babies. Hannah, do you have any contact information? Yes, I will be sharing the contact information in the chat. And to find out more about My Universe Academy and the work that we have done, especially with our first batch of students who have graduated from My Universe Academy and are now in various schools within Damauli, which is the closest town within our district, nearest town in our district. I just want to share the kind of work we're doing on the educational front and where the profits are actually going. So I will be sharing that in the chat as soon as I'm done. But on that note, yeah, what we're looking for is mostly retailers and collaboration, basically partners, to get our product out there so that we can continue giving work to more women and upskilling, continue to explore the potential of the skills that they probably already have, just to translate that into a contemporary product that is sellable, that people want for in today's world. So yeah, product development, skill development. For that we need funding, for that we need sales, and yeah, we're looking for retail partners. On that note, I thank you all for your time. I know that Sunil is saying, I agree with Hannah, in Nepal's context, we don't have sustainable source of many raw materials. It is not easy due to scale and other reasons. Yes, that is a huge problem. And I see this also, I know Nasreen was talking about the textile industry, even though a lot of the time we have to import the threads from India or China. And this is a huge setback for many of us who are trying to do A to Z ethical and transparent. And as one of the committee members of Fashion Revolution, I think this is a huge drawback on the industry itself at large. Yeah, scale and availability of raw materials. Yeah. Thank you. And thank you so much for this invitation. Have a beautiful weekend, everyone.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Yeah, I think your products would probably work really well. I know Emer there in the chat, I think she's left, but she was mentioning some of the markets in Ireland as well, like Christmas markets, and that could also be a way to kind of introduce some products to Ireland on a kind of small scale. Yeah, it's interesting to hear about the issues with sourcing sustainable like supply materials. But again, like that's, you know, that's kind of part of all of this, is that you guys are going through the effort of trying to make sure that your products are sustainable, and there unfortunately are not a huge amount of companies that go through that effort to try and from A to Z try and trace the whole process. So I think that that's something that, and I mean, maybe Nasreen and Sunil might also have experience with that, that they can share. But yeah, I think it's really important to address those issues as well. But like I said, it's about trying to make sure that there is accountability and that there is transparency there. So with that, if anybody else has any questions or remarks or comments or feedback, or would just like to say something, go ahead. I just, before actually I let you do that, I just want to say a huge thank you to our speakers, to Sunil, Nasreen, Hannah. Thank you so much for joining. I know I was kind of like throwing you guys in the deep end and being like, hi, come and speak and come and give us the presentation. So I really thank you for replying to my emails, as annoying as they might have been. And I really hope that, you know, that there's people out there who will watch this and be inspired and want to work with you. And hopefully we might see some of your products in Ireland at some point, in which case I'll be the first in line to buy some. So if anyone has any comments or questions.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Sarah. I think we don't have any questions. It looks like, so I see a bunch of questions on the chat there. I think most of them have been addressed anyway. So that's great. I think we can wrap up, right, Sarah? Should be okay now. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to wrap up, so I would like to thank again on behalf of Ireland-Nepal Chamber of Commerce team. Thanks to all our speakers, Sunil Chitrakar, Nasrin Sheikh, and Anna Khemon, and for their wonderful presentation, their insights. And I think this has really been a very noble work effort, I guess. So being able to use the technology, the virtual this Zoom platform to do some sort of a trade mission. So where you talked about your passion, where you talked about your business, you talked about what you are doing, you talked about what you are looking for, and you most of all you did a demo of your products. I think it's kind of equivalent to being in physical interaction, right? It means it's very close to that. So I'm really delighted to be able to organize this event today. And as I said, thanks goes to Sarah there for putting all the effort. And again, thanks to everyone for joining today's event. And I'm sure we'll be interacting going ahead in future, and hopefully we'll find some businesses in Ireland who would be interested in your products, and hopefully we'll be able to have more discussions in the business wise where we can say, okay, we are importing this much of products from you, and this many have been sold, and these products are very popular among the Irish public, right, in the Irish market. So hopefully that day, that time will come, and not only in Ireland, in the rest of Europe, and through Ireland Chamber of Commerce, we'll be able to do that and help you out. Okay, that's great. Thanks again, and namaste.
Thanks, everyone.
Steve, thank you so much.
Bye.